In this video, we'll create a fully functional app with Stripe payment integration. User can see the list of products. We'll be fetching the products from our MongoDB database. When user clicks the purchase button, the Stripe Checkout dialog will appear, showcasing the product name, price, and image. We'll also display our branding logo and add a custom input field in the checkout dialog. Let's fill out the form. After the transaction is complete, users will be redirected to a payment successful page. Let's verify the transaction detail in the Stripe dashboard. Let's start by creating Next.js project. Open your VS Code and in your terminal type npx create next app at latest and press enter. Go with the default options. Let's do some cleanup. Open app directory, open page.js, Ctrl+Alt, delete, create React functional component with RAFCE, open global.css, remove this. We'll be using Cn UI component, so let's install it. Open your terminal and type npx Cn at latest init and press enter. Go with the default options. By default, Next.js latest version uses React 19. The final stable version of React 19 isn't released yet. So while installing npm packages, we have to use flag legacy peer dependencies or force. It tells npm to ignore the strict peer dependency resolution. Select legacy peer dependencies, press enter. Now let's install the component that we need in our app. Npx Cn at latest, add button, dialog, card, press enter. Select use legacy peer dependencies. Cn components are added to our component/UI directory. Now let's configure the theme. For that, navigate to cn.com/theme. We'll be using Violet theme. Click on copy code. Copy this. Remove this and paste the code that you have just copied. Open page.js, import button from UI/button. Let's run our app. We have configured the Cn in our app. Now let's create the header and footer component. Inside UI, create header.jsx. Also create component footer.jsx. I don't want to waste your time, so I'll copy and paste the header and footer component. Close all of the files. Open layout.js. Remove this. Remove this. We'll be using outfit font. Import. Outfit. from next/font/Google. Import header and footer component. Now let's specify the weight and the subset of the output font. We'll be using Latin subset and these weights. This is the metadata of our app. Remove this. I have added some class to the body tag. Then I have loaded my header component and I have passed the children prop inside the main tag. Then we are placing the footer component. Let's see our app. This is our app right now. We'll be using MongoDB database. So let's install Mongoose. npm install Mongoose. Open lib directory. Let's create a file. Connect to db.js. Here we are importing the Mongoose and initializing the connection with object is connected null. If the connection is present, then we are returning from here. Otherwise, we are establishing the connection with our MongoDB database and assigning the is connected to the connection. Now in the root, create a file name .env. In this file, specify your Mongo URI. I'll add my MongoDB database URI later. Now in the root, create a folder name models. Inside models, create a file name product model.js. Import Mongoose. Let's create schema for our product. Const product schema. New mongoose.schema. Name type will be string. Required is true. Product must have name. Copy and paste it. Our product schema will have field price. Type will be number. Required is true. Product must have price. Image type will be string. Required is true. Product must have image. Description. Product must have description. Now let's export this product schema. Const product mongoose dot models dot product. If product model is available, then we'll return this product model. Otherwise, we'll create one with mongoose dot model product schema. Export default product. Close this file. I have already added some product in my database. Now let's fetch this product from our database and display it in our Next.js app. Open page.js. Before that, in app directory, let's create a folder. Let's name it server actions. Inside server action, create a file name product actions.js. Add use server directive at the top. Let's export async function get products try catch. Let's connect with our database. Import connect to db from lib/connect to db. Const products await product. Import product model dot find. Let's get all of our products dot lean. Return products. In catch, let's console log the error. Open page.js. Let's import get product, get products. Make this component async. Const products await get products. If there is no products, will trigger not found. Import it from next navigation. Otherwise, we'll render the product in our UI. Let's first console log the product. Refresh the page. We have to run our app first. npm run dev. Let's see our terminal. We have got the products. Now let's map over it. Remove this. Remove this button input. H1 products. Add another div. Let's map through the products. Products dot map through each product. To show the individual product, let's create another component to display the individual product. For that, inside component, inside UI, create a file name items.jsx, React functional component, import it here. Let's pass the product. Key will be product dot underscore id dot toString. Let's add some class. Flex direction will be column. Gap will be 8. Font semi bold. Text left. Text size will be 3 axial. We'll display the product in grid layout. Grid column 1 for screen size greater than SM. Grid column 2 for greater than MD. Grid column 3 gap will be 8. Open item component. We have passed the product as its prop. So let's get it. Product, import card from ./card. Also import card description, card footer, card header, card title, inside card add div element, inside div let's add the image of our product, import image from next image, product.name, which will be 300, height will be 300, source will be product.image. Let's add some class, object content, max height will be 60. Let's add some class to the image wrapper div, relative flex, justify center, item center, height will be 72, background slate 100. Let's add class to the card, flex column, height will be full, card header, card title, inside card title pass product.name, card description, product.description, text will be large, text pretty. After card header, add card footer. Here we'll specify the price of our product and also add the purchase button, span, product.price, text will be large, extra large, text primary, font will be medium, import button from /button, purchase, card footer will be flex, justify between, let's see our app. Since we are using external image, we have to specify the host name. Copy this, open nextconfig.mjs, images, remote patron. Let's specify the protocol and the host name. Protocol is HTTPS, host name will be this, Let's see our app. This is the UI of our app right now. We have successfully fetched and displayed all of our product from our database. Now navigate to dashboard.stripe.com. If you don't have an account, create one. After creating an account, you'll be navigated to the dashboard page of the Stripe. Here you can find your publishable and the secret key. Copy this and paste it inside your env file. Paste the publishable key here. Similarly, copy the secret key and paste it in Stripe secret key. Close all of the files. Now, when the user clicks on the purchase button, we'll display the Stripe dialog where user can enter their card detail and make the payment. Click on code, copy this, open items. Let's create another component to display the dialog. Inside UI, create buy.jsx component. Remove this button, import buy component. Copy this, paste it here. Remove this variant. Let's add purchase button. We don't need dialog description. Remove this. Remove this div. In footer, let's add the cancel payment button. Cancel payment. Variant will be outlined. Sorry, secondary. Let's see it in our app. Refresh the page. Click on purchase. Click on cancel. Here, let's wrap this button with dialog close. Dialog close. Add child. Remove this dialog close input. Import dialog close here. Click on purchase. Cancel. Now we'll display the Stripe input here where user can enter their card detail and make the payment. For that, let's install the npm package Stripe React. Copy this, paste it in your terminal. Also, we have to install Stripe package. Copy this, paste it here. Now let's import the embedded checkout provider and embedded checkout. Import embedded checkout provider and embedded checkout. Let's change the dialog title. Open header.jsx. Copy this. Paste it inside dialog title. Let's use span element. Import atom from Lucid React. Let's add some class. Flex grab will be 2. Item center. Now after the dialog title, let's add the embedded checkout provider. Inside embedded checkout provider, let's add embedded checkout. Now let's load the Stripe. Const Stripe promise. Load Stripe and pass the Stripe public publishable key inside load Stripe. Now to load the Stripe dialog, we have to get the Stripe secret key from our backend, which we have stored in our env file. We can get the next public Stripe in the client component. However, we cannot get the secret key in our env file, which does not have the next public. Even though we are keeping this in the env file, the public publishable key is visible in our client. However, the secret key is not visible, so we have to get it from our backend. For that, let's create a fetch call to our backend and get the secret key. Const fetch client secret. Use callback. Import it from React. Async function. Try catch. Let's send a post request to our backend. Const response. Await fetch /API/payment. We'll configure this API route later. Method will be post. Headers. Content type. Application/JSON. And in the body, we'll pass the product ID. Body JSON.stringify. To pass the product ID, we have to pass it as prop from the item. Here we have the product. Let's pass the ID to the buy component as its prop. ID will be product._id.toString. Let's get the ID. Let's pass it in our post request. Const data. await response.json. If there is error field in data, we'll throw new error, something went wrong. Otherwise, we'll return data.client secret. In catch, we'll throw the error. Pass empty dependencies, const options, fetch client secret. Let's pass this option in the checkout provider, options. Similarly, pass the Stripe promise. Let's add some class to the Stripe checkout. Max height will be 80 dvh. When the purchase button is clicked, the dialog component will be shown. When the dialog component is rendered in our app, this will trigger our post request to the backend. From our backend, we'll be getting the client secret and we'll pass this return to the option. Then the Stripe checkout will be displayed in our UI where the user can enter their card details. We have to make this client component slow at the top. Add use client directive. Now let's create this API endpoint. For that, first let's import Stripe. Open lib folder. Create a file name stripe.js. Import Stripe from Stripe. Export const Stripe. New Stripe instance. Pass the Stripe secret key. Process.env. Stripe secret key. Close all of the files. Inside app, create a folder named API. Inside API, create a folder named payment, and inside payment, create a file route.js. Let's define a post route. Export a string function post request try catch. Let's get the ID that we have sent from our front end. Const data await request.json. We can get the ID with data.id. Let's connect with our database. Now we'll get the product detail using the product ID, and we'll pass the product details like product name and product price while creating the Stripe checkout session. Let's get the product. Const product await import product model product.find by ID. Pass the ID of the product. If no product, return next response dot JSON error product not found. Status will be 400. If the product exists, we'll create the session, const session, await, import Stripe from lib/stripe dot checkout dot sessions dot create UI mode will be embedded. Let's specify the product detail, line items. It accepts array of object. Let's specify the price data. We have to pass the unit amount. So let's multiply the product price by 100. We have to specify the product price in cents. Currency will be USD. Let's specify the product data. Name will be product.name. Inside image, let's pass the product image, product.image. Quantity will be 1. Copy this, paste it inside the catch block. Something went wrong. Now let's specify the payment method types. Payment method types will accept a card, mode payment, let's add the automatic tax, enable true. Now let's specify the return URL for the webhook. To pass the return URL, we have to know the origin of our domain. For that, we can use request.header.getReferrer. Request.headers.getReferrer slash payment result session ID will be checkout session ID. When the payment is successful, will be returned to this URL. Let's create this payment result page. First, let's return the ID and client secret. Return. Next, response.json. ID will be session.id, client secret, session dot client dot underscore secret. Now inside app, create a folder, payment result. Inside payment result, create a file name page.js, create React functional component. Let's try it out. Refresh the page, click on purchase. We are getting our product image. This is the product title. Price is 70. Let's add some style to our dialog component. Open by component. Remove this. Margin vertical will be 4. Padding by 12. For screen greater than XL, max width will be screen XL. Refresh the page. Let's try it out again. Let's purchase this Apple iPad Pro. Price is 220. Apple iPad Pro. This is our image. Price is 220. Also, let's add a custom field where the user can enter their delivery location. For that, open route.js. Let's specify our custom fields. Custom fields. Key will be location. Label type will be custom. Let's specify the label text. Delivery location. Type is text. Add comma here. This should be like this. Let's try it out. Refresh the page. Let's click on purchase. Our custom field delivery location is here. Now let's enter the credentials. test@gmail.com. Location will be this. Card information will be 424242. CVC will be 123. Card holder name will be John Doe. Just click on pay. After the payment is successful, we'll be redirected to the payment result page, and the session ID will be added as the search params. Click on pay. This is the session ID. Now we can use this session ID to see the status of our payment, and according to the status of our payment, we'll display the UI. Let's see the transaction detail in the Stripe dashboard. Click on customers. This is the payment that we performed right now. Click here. Here we can see the detail of the payment. Click here, user bought gaming controller. We can see other information here. We can view the receipt. Now let's implement the UI of our payment result page according to the status of the payment. Close all of the files. Open page.js that is inside payment result. Import Stripe from lib/Stripe. Let's get the session ID. Const session ID. Await. Search params. Dot session underscore ID. We have to make this async. We can get the search param as the prop. If there is no session ID, we'll redirect the user to the home page. Import redirect from next navigation. Now let's get the session from Stripe. Const session. Await get session. Pass the session ID. Now let's create this get session function. Async function get session. We'll get the session ID in its parameter. Try catch. Const session. Await stripe.checkout.sessions.retrieve session ID. This will return us the session ID. If it is not present, we'll return null. Return session. If there is error, we'll return null. If there is no session, we'll display invalid session. If session dot status is triple equal to expired, we'll return your session expired. If session.status is open, we'll display your payment is in progress. We'll get three values in the status: expired, open, and completed. If it is not expired and if it is not open, then that means it is completed. So we'll return the payment success component here. I'll copy and paste some code. Import link. From next link. Here we are displaying that the order placed by the user is successful. We are displaying the payment successful message. With the help of session.customerdetail.name, we can get the name of the user which they have specified while placing the order. Similarly, we can get their email. Let's create this tick icon component inside UI. create tick icon.jsx. I'll copy and paste the SVG to display the tick icon. Let's try it out. Import tick icon. Import button. This is the previous session. We have already seen it in our dashboard. The payment was successful. So the payment successful page is being displayed here. Let's try again. Let's purchase MacBook Pro. Email will be random@gmail.com. Delivery location will be random location. Let's enter the card information. Card holder name will be William. Let's click on pay. Payment is successful. This is the email that we have just provided, and the username is William. Let's see it in our Stripe dashboard. Click on transactions. This is the payment that was just done. MacBook Pro.